Ladies and gentlemen, direct from the Universal Broadcasting Network, located at the historic Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, and locations across the country and beyond. This is Showbiz Nation Live with Michael Roberts. Your weekly look behind the curtain featuring the latest news, reviews, interviews, and performances with the artists that shape the magnificent world of the performing arts. I'm your announcer, David Friend. And now, curtain up, put your hands together. Here is the host of Showbiz Nation Live, Michael Roberts.
Now, here's a new record. It's been out for about 2 weeks now. And this lady, if I don't get her name right, she's going to just hang me by my ears. She is deserving of all the credit that is due her. She's just done great work in the last year. Lovely, talented Miss Linda Clifford.
This next young woman started her singing career at the age of 7. In addition, she has won several beauty contests, including Miss New York State. But it was disco that brought her to everybody's attention. And she's going to sing her big hit for you right now. The hit, of course, is called If My Friends Could See Me Now. Here's the beautiful recording star, Linda Clifford.
If friends could see her now, they would know that the former Miss New York State's horizons are definitely expanding. Here's Linda Clifford.
Welcome to Showbiz Nation, Showbiz Chicago, and Chicago Pride. And why? Why all three? Because it gets no better than this. I am with Linda Clifford. My God, she, from disco queen to actress to beauty queen to now chocolate bar aficionado.
Oh my God.
Right? Miss Clifford is going to be performing on Friday, August 26th at the fantastic Unity Church in Chicago. And I'm sure she's going to be showing some love, which is part of her newest compilation, The First Ladies of Disco. Everybody needs to go, first of all, need to go to iTunes, download it, and buy it. and then wait till they see the video, because if you have the reaction I did, you will never be the same. So welcome to the broadcast, Linda.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. It's my pleasure to be here with you. That's quite an introduction.
Right? And I'm catching my breath.
Yeah, like, whoa.
So, show some love, Linda. My God, talk about the inception of this amazing song and video.
Well, I'll tell you, this was the idea of Martha Wash and her management, James Washington. And but it originally started with a dear friend, James Arena, who wrote a book called The First Ladies of Disco. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I'm not, but I will be.
Oh my goodness, you should read this book. You will die. It is so good. And what he does is he interviews like 36 or 34 or 36 of the women who were there from the beginning of the disco era. And unfortunately, when he was putting this thing together, we lost Donna, which,
Yes.
came as such a shock.
I did one of her last interviews.
Oh, did you?
I did. And honestly, and I, we kind of knew she was ill, but not to that extent. It was just...
Well, I didn't know she was ill at all. And all of a sudden, I see these reports and I'm like, this is bogus. This can't be true. I don't believe it. And so, he wrote this book, and, many of us have been friends for so many years. We were all out there working together, and playing the same clubs and working in groups. And so Martha, who I've known since back in the Sylvester days, I met her in Italy in like 1977 or something, when she was still, like a weather girl.
Yep. Rain Man.
Yeah, and the same, with Evelyn Champagne King. Evelyn and I worked together many, many times. I think she was maybe 17 years old, and when she did Shame. So, we've been working back and forth for the last 35 years, and we said, we should do something together. And we got this, of course, people were submitting so many songs, and all this terrible stuff was going on around the planet, and we're like, oh my God, this is awful. And this song came to us. James Washington found this wonderful song through a writer by the name of Zach Adam out of New York, and it's called Show Some Love. And we all had the same reaction. We're like, this is it. This is the song. And, I just, when we went in to shoot this video, I mean, of course, we, as independent artists, things are so different now. In the industry, everybody's trying to do their own thing, and I hate to bring up an age issue, but the fact is, if you're not 12 and
that's right,
you're cushy, nobody wants to
finance it. That's true.
It's terrible. So of course we had like little minor budget issues, but we did the best job we could do with what we had to work with. We had hair and makeup people and costuming people, and we called all of our friends in Los Angeles and said, hey, would you be in our video? Come, And so we had, all ethnicities, people who were married, people who were engaged, people who were just lovers and just dating, fathers and daughters. We just put everyone together.
Did you film it in Los Angeles, Linda?
We did film it in Los Angeles, and we got the most incredible response. I mean, as we were shooting it, we had to keep calling makeup people to touch up our makeup because we were all crying.
Right.
Because, the message in the song was so strong, and I'm so grateful. It actually went to, I think it was number 5.
It is number 5 on the dance charts, absolutely.
Yes. And what's really great is, the song itself is wonderful, just the basic song, but when we started getting the remixes from the different
DJs, yeah,
oh my God, we were like, holy Toledo, this is happening, baby. It was just it's magnificent. So to people who haven't heard it, who haven't seen the video, I do want to recommend it, not just because we're in it, but because the message is so wonderful.
And boy, Linda, isn't it fantastic how music is so still relevant and healing? All the Broadway people just got together, and I was just outside of Orlando when the shooting happened, and I'm a theater queen, and I produce and all that, right. and all these people within like 48 hours came out with that song, and it's just. And I was telling you earlier, I was talking to Judy Collins, and it was amazing. It seemed like it skipped a couple decades, but how music really influenced the political structure of our countries back in like the 60s and early 70s. And I think you're starting to see that again, how music can really have an impact on bringing people together.
Well, I think that a lot of that, as we kind of touched on earlier, with artists being a little bit more independent, trying to do things on their own, you're getting more of the art, you're getting more of the heartfelt music rather than just what's going to make a buck for the record company.
Sure.
I mean, and unfortunately, it kind of went that way because, and I understand, listen, they're in business to make money. I get it. And so they're going to go with the sure shot, what they think is going to make them the most money. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best music. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best thing for the soul.
That's right.
And that's what, as artists, that's really what we're trying to do is do something to heal, to help the process and cure what's going on out there.
So you grew up in New York.
I did.
When did you know you could sing? And tell me about your parents. I mean, how what was the birthing? What was the birthing of Linda Clifford? Take us back.
Listen, we're not going back that far. They didn't have doctors back then, so
Well.
no, I'm kidding. But close. No. I think I started singing. There was always music in my home. Someone was always playing music. I had an older brother who was very much into theater and just every kind of music, which was great. So I heard a variety of things always. My parents, who both grew up in the South, my mom in Virginia and my dad in North Carolina, they listened to typical country and western stuff. So I had that in one ear, I had theater and pop in the other, and I just would sing whatever I heard, and not looking to make a career of it, certainly at the age of 3 or 4 years old, but by the time I was 4, I was performing.
Yeah.
And which happens to still be my favorite thing to do. I mean, the recording studio is there, it serves a purpose, it's great, but to me, when you go out on that stage and your audience is there and they're wanting everything you have, you try to give them every ounce of you. And that, to me, is the most fun.
So how did you end up going into, just growing up in New York and being surrounded by Broadway? Did you ever think about going into musical theater?
Oh, honey, that was my dream. But, and I went and I auditioned for everything. But, there were certain things that were happening during that period that were not really the best for,
right.
The little too short black girl who showed up at the audition. Because I didn't care what they asked for. I just showed up.
That's right.
And
that's Maria and the Sound of Music.
If they asked for dancer singers, which of course tells you they want someone who is primarily a dancer first, and you can carry a tune. I went to that. And then if they asked for someone who was a singer-dancer, I showed up for that. But, I auditioned for, wait a second, what was the show? Yes, I Can, the Sammy Davis
Yes,
Jr.
I was just going to, yes.
And Lola Falana, of course, got the part that I wanted. But, here's Lola with these long, long legs and this magnificent butt. And here's me, 5'1", with, absolutely a tenth of the dance experience that she had. Yeah, but I went. I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go. Maybe somebody will let me sing. Just let me sing and see what happens. And, of course, I never got to sing. But, I loved the idea of Broadway, and I still do. I would love to do a show. But, I left New York at a pretty early age and started traveling on the road because I thought, this isn't happening for me. And, of course, if it wasn't a black show or an African-American show or a Negro show, as it was called at the time, because you got to remember, we're talking 60s.
Sure.
Then there was nothing to really audition for, or to have a chance of getting a part. It wasn't there for us. Just like, you couldn't, it wasn't there for TV commercials or, God knows, a TV show. So, I thought, well, I do sing, and I worked the Catskill Mountains for, I think, 2 seasons. And so I learned to sing in Hebrew and French and Italian, Yiddish, and, I got to play all of these magnificent characters in it and in the show that I was doing. And I thought, it's time to go on the road. And that's what I did.
Wow. And isn't that, it's amazing how, people just associate you with disco or Donna Summer with disco. But, Donna Summer, my God, she's was overseas doing learning opera when she got hair,
Right.
and that was her breakthrough. I mean, people
Right.
don't realize the arc and talent of your voices, because my God, as great as disco is and still is, these are magnificent voices you guys have. They're just,
Well, thank
I mean,
thank
it's
you.
incredible. So,
Well, I think a lot of that is due to the fact that, yeah, the training, and God bless her, Donna had the formal training, which is great, but I never had that opportunity. So my training was working nightclubs. I got to work clubs where I had the chance to sing different types of music. So, I was doing jazz, I was doing pop, and then eventually I turned to, the R&B stuff.
Sure.
But, that's what was out there and able to keep me working. So that's, kind of what I had to do.
so how did you?
But you don't find that anymore. Where do young talents go to learn their trade?
They download YouTube videos on how to sing.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
There
so
you go.
how did you end up in all these films, including Sweet Charity?
Well, that was one of my wonderful auditions. So, I auditioned for something, and I saw this casting agent, and, forgive me, it's been so long ago, I can't remember his name. But he decided to put me in, let's see, Coogan's Bluff with Clint Eastwood, I believe was my first film. And I thought, oh my God, I'm going to be a movie star. Of course, you get those dreams.
Sure.
And I got 2 days of work. And those 2 days, I just rode up and down an escalator past Clint Eastwood. And I said, wow, I'm in the movies.
wow.
I was, very excited. And then he called me again for something else. And that's how I ended up doing these films. It was because of that casting agent who thought, okay, she doesn't talk on the set. She's quiet. And, she's clean. She doesn't smell bad. So we'll use her. So, that's kind of how that happened. And then, the Sweet Charity thing, which, of course, everybody knows was a Broadway musical.
Okay.
And then the film, I got to work on that quite a bit. And, so when somebody brought me the song, of course, If My Friends Could See Me Now, it's like, oh, no, we can't do that. We can't make that.
Been there, done that.
Yes, and not only that, to me, I was like, oh, that's sacrilege, you can't. I couldn't imagine what they would do to make that song disco. I just didn't hear it.
Right.
And then they said, forget her. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And they went and they did the track and they played it for me. And I went, holy crap, that's my song. I'm doing it.
Right?
Yeah.
Boy.
So I just fell in love with it.
But and that's very true though. Now that we're talking about it, is that really some of the, and again you don't see it anymore, but a lot of great Broadway songs were turned into disco. Like Don't Cry for Me, Donna Summer had Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Right.
Yeah.
And they fit so beautifully.
Yeah.
With the strings, and when disco was at its peak, the producers really were using the most wonderful instruments, and you could hear this wonderful music. And then, unfortunately, people started jumping on the bandwagon that really shouldn't have been there, and they were like just stamping out anything that came along and calling it disco. And it kind of brought down the quality of some of the music. And it hurt, I think, a lot of the artists because, there you were and you were labeled the disco queen.
That's
or the,
right.
Disco whatever. And then you walk on stage and you're following a group of people who are roller skating topless. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? That actually happened to me, by the way.
Where?
I swear. I am not kidding. I almost quit the business that day. Seriously.
Oh,
I was, this happened in the UK,
mm-hmm.
and this was a huge, huge event. And they invited, like the #1 artists from countries all over the world. And this was a big, big event, huge theater. And they had like, I don't know, maybe 30 acts on the show. And this is actually the show where I met Sylvester and Martha Wash and Isora. And so I'm watching the sound check, the rehearsals, and I was number like 28 or something on the show. So they ran the show down in order, and the group that came on before me didn't sing a note. It was an instrumental. And so the instrumental thing is playing, and all of a sudden, out of the side of the stage, come 4 girls in hot pants, roller skates, and netted tops with no bras.
Oh, God.
That was their costume.
Oh, God.
And I sat, and my mouth dropped open. I said, I have worked my butt off for 30 years, and I'm going to follow this?
Never.
I was devastated. I said, I quit. I'm not going on. And my husband said to me, "You have to go on. You have to go on. You flew over here to do this show." I'm like, "I'm not doing it." But so of course I went on. But I just thought, wow, this is brutal. And if this is what's happening in the industry, but of course, things are so different musically in Europe.
Yes.
They have their own little sound, and that was a very hip European thing. The people loved it.
Absolutely. And really, that created its own movement, really, over there, too.
Absolutely, it did. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm way too old. I just didn't get it. I'm like,
so just to clarify, so when you came out to perform after the roller skaters, you were fully clothed. You were not topless.
I had clothing on, yes. I was wearing clothing, and everything was covered. You couldn't see through anything. And the people liked me, too. So it was a good thing. Yeah.
So, Lynn, from your perspective, how did disco and the gay rights movement come together and stay together? I mean, it still is. I've never seen a joining of two forces that has been as long lasting, in the industry as that.
Well, I think, a great deal of that, I think, has to do, and I'm talking just about here in the States, because that's mostly what I got to see. A great deal of that had to do with Studio 54. I have to bring that up.
Oh, my God. I don't know how I got out of there alive, I gotta tell you.
What?
I don't know how I've escaped there alive sometimes. I used to go in on a Friday night and come out on a Monday.
On Monday morning.
It was like, oh my God.
Listen, I'm right there with you, because I would go there to work and then never leave.
Right.
But that was the most magnificent place, and I know there are people who have negative things to say about it, but I'm here to tell you. Let me just say this. That was a combination of love,
yes,
happiness, joy, in every form that you can imagine. And I think that it brought people together of all races, all everything. No matter what your stance is on love and being together, it was all there. We all were together. We all had a great time. You didn't have to worry about going in there and having violence of any sort. It was just a happy place, and people loved the music, and they danced and had a great time. Absolutely. And I just think that was really something that people wanted to be a part of, and that's why they had those lines around the block. You had to know somebody to get in that place. And I was just so grateful to be able to perform there so many times. I mean, the fact that that they kept calling me back and going, "You got a new song? Yeah, come on over. Okay, here we go." And so I would work there. Phyllis Hyman,
Oh
she and
my
I worked there
God.
quite a bit together. And you talk about a talent,
Yes.
a beautiful, talented woman that we lost way too soon. Way too soon. She was just wonderful. And Phyllis and I worked there together. Thelma Houston, all the girls, we were like, yeah, baby.
Right.
This is our party spot, and you were safe. You never felt endangered in any way. So that was part of the love. And then that whole atmosphere, the gay community really loved our music, and so I found myself going from one club to another, performing and just being wrapped in all that love. I mean, how do you walk away from that? How do you say that that's a bad thing?
You can't.
It's not.
You can't.
And I to this day, I mean, the gay community, they know how I feel. They know my love is real for them, as well as any of the other clubs or performances that I do. So
Yeah.
I've just been blessed. I'm very grateful.
And you know what I think too, Linda? It's never fake with them or us, I should say, because, I mean, if there's any group that knows music and knows talent, that's it.
That absolutely, and art.
Right?
Right.
You can't fake your way through the gay community as far as talent goes.
Absolutely, you're so right. And again, I had mentioned my older brother who was a gay man, and I was the only one in the family that knew, because back then that was like, oh my God,
Right.
you don't tell anybody.
Right.
And even though he was 9 years older, we were really quite close, because he would write letters to me from wherever he traveled, and he would send, he was in the Air Force, and he would send me wonderful little gifts. I got a pair of wooden shoes, and and I thought, oh my, and for a kid from Brooklyn to have wooden shoes, authentic ones. And so of course I would put them on and try to dance in them. And,
That's hilarious.
he introduced me to theater and just all of those great things. And so many of my friends are gay. I mean, I hate to sound like a cliche. That's such an awful, you hear it so much. I have gay friends. Yeah, right. Okay. But on my Facebook page and my, all my little, website, the majority of the people who write to me, and many of them I write to every day. I mean, I literally sit down and we talk. Mm-hmm. So, are gay. Mm-hmm. And, they've been accepted me into their homes and their lives. And, I just love that.
So what was your first music contract, Linda?
Oh, God, are you kidding?
And who was it with? Do you remember?
I think, I think my very first contract might have been with Macalla or Calla Records when I was maybe 14.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a New York label. In fact, I should probably read the article. I did an interview with Diva magazine not too long ago, and I sent them some photos and different things from way back in the day, and it's so funny. They actually found stuff that I hadn't seen since I was maybe 14 or 15 years old. And they have some great photos in the issue, which just came out about a week ago. So I would have to say the first one was Macalla Records. And then, there was a long period of nothing because I was traveling on the road. I was working in someone else's group.
Right.
And then my next venue might have been with Paramount or Buddha or something, but it's been a very long time, and I'm an old person, so don't ask me.
Okay, but how much control did they have over the product, Linda?
They had complete control. Are you kidding?
Right.
And I mean, seriously, the record labels, of course, now things are a little different, but back then, especially being the kid from Bedford-Stuyvesant and everything, all of a sudden somebody wants to record you. Right away you think, oh my God, I'm going to be a star. So what, here, sign here? Okay, fine. You don't know what you're signing. Your parents were like, my dad was a plumber.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know what he was signing. It's like, oh, you want to record my daughter? Okay, fine, here you go. And so they had, complete control. And, whether, the song was played on the radio, which,
And that was the goal. I mean, that was it,
that was
wasn't
the
it?
goal.
Yeah.
All you need is one good hit.
That's right.
That was, that was the big thing. So, of course, everyone was, waiting for that. And then I got, before I left New York, I got sidetracked and got involved with the Miss USA pageant.
Ah, yes. Yes. And boy, you were Miss New York, weren't you?
I was Miss New York, but, I kind of hate the way it happened. That was 1966,
Yes.
I think.
Yes, it was.
And, back then, there were no black beauty queens.
No, you were long before Vanessa Williams.
Child, let me tell you. It was way back in the day. And, it started because a girlfriend dared me to enter the Miss Teen USA pageant. So, of course, we dared each other. We both entered. And, unfortunately, I won Miss Brooklyn Teen. And what you don't realize is when you win something like that, you have to continue. So
that's right.
Then I had,
that's right.
You've got that title. Now you have to go to Miss Brooklyn, and then you go to Miss New York, and that's what happened. And then this whole big, crazy nonsense happened for Miss New York. They crowned two girls who were Caucasian. One was Miss New York City, one was Miss New York State. And so, I thought, okay, fine, I didn't win. So I'm packing my stuff up and I'm leaving. My parents are with me because I was pretty young still. And one of the judges comes over and he says, can you wait for a few minutes? We think there's been a mistake.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, and my folks are like, well, come on, we have to get up and go to work in the morning. So the next thing I know, there's this reporter, some guy calls my name, and I look up, and he snaps his picture. And he turns out to be a reporter from the New York Daily News, and obviously these judges have spoken to the press. I don't know what's going on, and they're saying that the contest is rigged, that I was supposed to win Miss New York State, and they didn't count the votes, and they threw out half my votes, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
so
my
there
God.
was a big, oh, yeah. Well, they didn't want a black representative, is basically what it boils down to. We later found out that the other contestants, and, it's so funny, I'm in the dressing room, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't recognize any of these people, because I should have seen, Miss Bronx, Miss Queens, all these people that I had come along with. And I didn't see anyone I knew. And it turns out that all the other girls, except for myself, were from one modeling agency.
Wow.
So the whole thing was kind of, it was rigged. And here's me, dopey. I didn't realize
5'1".
what was going on. I'm like, hey, I'm here. I got my bathing suit. I got my evening gown. Let's go.
And
hey.
my roller skates.
Exactly. Well, this led to this tremendous backlash. Front page news on the front page on the Daily News. My picture on one side, the other two girls on the other side, and then the hate mail started arriving. I mean, because this guy actually put my home address.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. So the hate mail started arriving. My dad was, petrified that something was going to happen to us. We actually had to move from our home
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the postmaster sent us a letter saying, do you know who's sending this hateful mail? Because sending this stuff in the mail because it's against the law to write this kind of stuff, you know. I mean, it was just brutal. Every negative name you could think of that might be used in that kind of setting
Sure.
was addressed to me. And, you know, my mom and I would just sit and we'd look at it and we'd just hold hands and cry because we couldn't believe that people could be that hateful. You know, I was a kid crying out
in New
loud.
York. In New York.
In New York, but
yeah,
wait.
I mean,
But here's the best part. Most of the mail was not coming from New York. It was coming
well,
from
I
the
would
South.
assume it wouldn't. Right. I
Yeah.
would assume it wouldn't be coming from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was down south.
Oh,
you know, where do I get
Of
the nerve
course.
to compete
Of
against a
course.
white girl for anything? You know,
Of
that
course.
kind of crap. Anyway, so they ended up sending me to the Miss USA pageant. Anyway, they said, we're going to, you know, okay, obviously there's been a mistake. So you are Miss New York, and we're going to get you. So I get there to Ohio. Threats against my life. They're going to bomb the plane. They're going to kill me before I walk the stage. All that kind of stuff.
I'm sure the other girls
And-
felt so secure competing in
Yeah.
the pageant.
Yeah. I was like, don't sit next to her. So, and then of course I get there. They don't have a sash for me that says Miss New York. So they give me a sash that says Miss Brooklyn.
Jeez.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
Well, they put me in a room with Miss Detroit. We were the only two black girls in the pageant. And on either side, there was Alabama, Arkansas, South Carolina, you know, like that kind of thing. And of course, you know, we were treated horribly for the whole week. I cried every day, but I just would not leave. I just felt if I leave, they win.
That's right.
So,
Who is the host?
my parents,
Who is the host of the Miss USA?
Bob Hope.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we go to meet him at the airport, and he walks off the plane, and the first thing out of his mouth is, Miss Brooklyn, what are you doing here?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And I thought, wow.
Wow.
Nice to see you, too.
Yeah, right? Damn.
So, it was not a fun time. But my folks had to hire bodyguards. I had guards outside my room 24/7.
That's craziness.
You know, for fear that somebody would actually try to kill me for this. And, you know, shortly after that, I just said, I gotta go. And that's when I left to go on the road.
Boy, no more beauty pageants.
You know, so pathetic.
Right?
I thought, this is the biggest nightmare of my life. I cannot deal with it. And so what do? I leave there and I go to Titusville, Florida.
Which, honest to God, Linda, right now, I'm about 40 minutes away from there.
Stop it!
I'm not kidding you. I'm in Ocala right now. So,
Oh,
so
I was in Titusville.
the best is, Linda, when a GPS, because I go to the Dr. Phillips Center in Orlando. So I have to pass the exit for there. It's amazing how the different GPS systems pronounces it.
Oh, I can only imagine. That's got to be pretty funny.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So why Titusville, as mine calls it?
Yeah, right. Titusville, there was a job there, and I had joined this group called the Jericho Jazz Singers. And there was a job there for us. So we worked there, and unfortunately, at the time, you know, this was like very tumultuous racial unrest, and right in the middle of, you know, Dr. King marching and all this stuff. And of course, oh God, what's his name, was running for president. George Wallace.
Oh, Wallace, my God. Yeah, talk about this.
They would come in with their Wallace hats and stickers,
Oh, God.
and, you know, all this crap, and I just thought, oh, this is not good. Being from New York, you
Right.
know, and having to listen to some of the stuff that these people were spouting, and the names that some of us had been called, I just thought, I don't think I can take this.
Well, everything old is new again right now. So
Yeah, and so now here we are again.
Yeah.
with this crap happening,
Right.
and because of ignorance that's being spouted on television, on what are supposed to be news shows, but I call them entertainment shows.
There are no more news shows anymore, Linda. That's all
No.
gone. They're all opinion.
Entertainment for the dim-witted.
Yeah.
And, this election that we're going through right now, this whole process is just a joke. It's an embarrassment to us as a country. I can't even believe this is happening. But, again, this has come around, and I'm seeing more and more, if you watch the news and you see what's going on, that people have become so bold and so brazen.
Yes.
That maybe they thought these things but didn't say them out loud. But now all of a sudden they feel like it's okay to say this stuff. But they have to realize we are not the black people from 1950. We're not taking that crap,
that's
okay?
right. I mean, come on. Right.
You
But
wanna
they're
say
saying this
that
stuff,
to me?
Linda, but they're just wrong. I mean, their facts are wrong.
They don't have any facts.
That's right.
They don't even try to get facts. They're just spouting this hateful, evil, whatever out into the universe,
Right.
and people are laughing at our country in this day and age. For them to have this kind of mean-spirited fever going on here is just unheard of. We are so far ahead in so many other things, and this, because of who you love or the color of your skin, to be an issue is just insane to me. I can't even. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's because these people are so miserable in their own lives, and they don't know how to self-manage their own lives, that they're placing everything else on everybody else instead of looking internally. Why am I not getting a job?
Hate.
That's right. It's.
How do you live with that much hate
That's right.
for someone you don't even know?
That you don't even know. And what are you teaching your kids? My God.
Oh,
I mean, because that's going to come to another generation.
That's another generation. When I see, they do these special reports, and you see things, and 5-6-year-old kids wearing hoods.
Right.
I'm like, you have got to be
Got
kidding.
to be kidding. I know.
Unbelievable.
And you would think, with the age of Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, when everything is so accessible, and you could be talking to somebody in another country, we don't have to pay toll.
Right.
Our phone bills used to be like hundreds of dollars just to call London. Now you
Right.
could just hit Skype and you'll be talking. So to have that amount of availability to talk to other cultures in an instant, and
Yes.
to still have this amount of hate is just
Well, the sad thing is, the people who have that type of hateful spirit, they're not interested in other cultures. They're not
That's true.
interested in learning
That's true.
anything other than what they feel and what they know, what is in their immediate area, what they see around them. And that's the problem. There is no interest in knowing anything else.
That's right.
And I want to just grab them by the shoulders and shake them and go, hey, there's a whole world out there. What is wrong with you? Let's go.
That's right. And it's right.
It's sad.
It is sad.
I feel sorry for them. I really do.
And
but unfortunately, they hurt everyone else.
That's right. That's right. And really, after 9/11, Linda, I mean, you've seen. I mean, people before that were traveling all over, getting involved in culture and all that. But who really wants to travel anymore? Who really wants to go through that? It's insane just to get on an airplane now. Just what you have to go through.
I know. It's terrible. But you know what? We have to keep going.
Absolutely.
It's just like the Miss USA thing. If you stop living your life, then they win.
That's
You've
right.
got to continue to move forward. And that's the only thing that's going to save us. But moving backward is not the answer.
That's true. Before I let you go, Linda, I do want to talk about the Linda Clifford chocolate bars.
Yay! For everyone out there, if you love chocolate, and
Who doesn't? And who
Yes,
doesn't?
exactly. I'm so happy and excited to announce that I have developed Linda Clifford chocolate bars. And, listen, I am a lover of chocolate. I love milk chocolate. I love dark chocolate. But primarily dark chocolate is my thing. And so I've created these bars. And when I say created, I want you to know that I literally went to the factory and I did my Lucille Ball impersonation. So I had on a net. I wore the hat with the gloves. I'm tasting everything.
Please tell me you have pictures of this.
Actually, I think I do have a picture or two. I'm going to see if I can send
Oh,
you something.
please do. Oh, my God.
I don't know if I want anybody to see it.
Oh, that's, I don't care.
But I spent, quite a bit of time trying to develop the right flavors. And, a lot of these bars have like 20 different ingredients. I'm a simple girl. I'm a kind of a laid back. I think a lot of times less is more. Mm-hmm. So with my dark chocolate bars, it's dark chocolate with raspberry jam and sea salt.
Mm.
Yeah. It make you want to slap your mama. Okay, they're good. And then
that'd be a great name for them, actually.
the milk chocolate bars are milk chocolate, caramel, and almonds. And they are wonderful, and they're doing very well. People are, and this is actually a part of an artist series. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Sweets of Hollywood.
I am not.
Oh my gosh, it is the largest candy manufacturing and candy store on the planet. And they're directly across the street from Jimmy Kimmel's theater.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
you're going to be right by us, too.
That's where I went to create the bars, and that they sell them there. And what they have, RuPaul, myself, Mary Wilson, Frida Payne, we all have our own candy bars and sections in the store. So, I'm the newbie on the block. So I thought, well, let me just start with 2 bars and see how it goes. And so I started with these 2, but I am going to eventually move into some hard candies and different flavors with the chocolates as well. So I sell these on my website. And, of course, you can go to Sweet Hollywood and place your order there. But I do have to tell you, these bars are really good.
And you do have a fantastic website, Linda.
Oh, thank you.
You really do.
Thank you so much.
Very easy to navigate. All the information is right there. It's a fantastic website.
Good. I'm so happy that you found it easy to get around, because I know some sites are a little difficult. You're like, wait a second, I just left this page.
Right. So what's next for you, Linda? What's next on the Linda Clifford?
Of course, I'm doing this wonderful event at Unity this coming Friday, the 26th. And I'm hoping to see loads and loads of people come to the event. I'll have candy bars with me, so
fantastic.
So come on out, get your candy bars, and also, come out and have some fun with us. We're doing a whole disco show, and I'm going to be able to not just do my songs, but songs of some of the wonderful people that are no longer with us. People that we've lost that we loved so much from that era. And the thing that's so great about, being at Unity, they're going to have, seating for those who just want to sit and watch the show, but they're going to leave space for dancing so people can actually dance during the show, which is really fun.
Awesome. And there's 2 ticket prices, $35, and then you're doing a meet and greet. I'm
doing a meet and greet before the show
$50.
at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the show will start at 8. So I sure hope everybody comes out to spend some time with us. And then, of course, I'll be traveling a little bit. I'll be in New Jersey. I'll be in New York. I'm doing Disco Ball this year. Going to the UK. So, I'm trying to get around a little bit. I'm going to show people I'm not afraid to get on an airplane.
Good.
I'm going to do it.
Good. And then you're coming out to Los Angeles to see me.
And then I'm coming out to LA to see you. You got that right.
And can we talk about the magazine before I let you go?
Of course, of course.
Cover girl.
I'm sorry?
You're a cover girl.
I am a cover girl. I'm so excited. I'm like, wow, this is great. It's Diva magazine. And I'm, again, this is something that started as, you know, can we interview you? And I said, sure. You know, and we started talking. And then they said, wow, you know, this is kind of interesting. Do you think we can talk again? And so now, as a result of this, I am a cover girl for the month of July and August with Diva, which is a fabulous, fabulous magazine.
Fabulous.
But because of the amount of information and stuff about my life, they are doing a 4-part series. So for the next 4 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like the Linda Clifford story. I'm sorry. I thought, wow, this could be a book.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it covers everything.
And
Just
but my
amazing.
God, Linda, your story is just so fantastic, and you're such an amazing woman. So
Thank you.
you so deserve it, and your story inspires so many people too. I mean,
Oh,
I mean, honestly, but for it being a beauty pageant, you kind of lived through the plot of Hairspray.
yes, you're absolutely right.
So
You're right. Oh my God, that
absolutely.
is so true. I never thought of it that
There
way.
you go. There you go. And that'd be a
Yeah.
great role for you, by the way.
I would love that. I love that show too.
They just did it
So-
in I think they just did it at the Marriott Theater. They've been close to
Really?
you. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should get my auditioning shoes back out.
Okay, at this point, Linda, you don't audition. You say, I want this role, and they give it to you. Okay?
Oh, is that how it works?
That with me, it will be.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
Be your agent. All right, Linda, I love you. Thank you so much for your time. I mean, you were just
Thank you,
incredible.
darling, so much. I've had so much fun talking.
I've made
to
a new
you.
friend.
Yes, definitely. And I can't wait to see you in September when I come out.
Absolutely. It's a date.
All right.
Thanks,
Take
Linda.
care.
Bye-bye.
Tired of the drama, tired of the games. Don't wanna play a part in this, it's driving me insane. I'm only human, and things go wrong. They can try to break me, but I will come back strong. We can make it alright, bathing in the sunlight. Love can come easy, easy. Leave your trouble behind. Get what money can't buy. Love can come easy. We are here. Let's have a good time. We are here. We got tonight. We are here to love, to love, to love. Show some love. If you love somebody, say oh, oh, oh. If you love somebody, say oh, oh, oh. If you love somebody, say oh, oh, oh. Show some love. Show some love. Show some love. Yeah. So many people hating, many people sad. Always seems to be a reason for someone to be mad. They never show you good news, it's all bad on TV. They always trying to tell you nothing good comes free. We can make it alright, running all the red lights. Love can come quickly, quickly. Scrap the past and rewrite. Time for us to take flight. Love will come easy. We are here. Let's have a good time. We are here. We got tonight. We are here
coming down on another episode of Showbiz Nation Live with Michael Roberts. Make sure to visit showbiznationlive.com and ubnradio.com for information on upcoming shows and to listen to past episodes. Thank you for tuning in, and please support your local theaters and arts organizations. I'm your announcer, David Friend. See you at a show.